everybody, and welcome back to your favorite, well, hopefully your favorite online motoring talk show, Talk the Talk. Thank you so much for joining me on another empowering episode of Talk the Talk. I'm Desh, your host for today, and I'm very excited to have today's guest in studio, an awe-inspiring female racing driver, again, who defies expectations and breaks barriers in motorsports. She absolutely loves what she does. I've spent some time with her as well, and we've been on the same WhatsApp group trying to promote motorsports in South Africa, and it's so refreshing and so absolutely beautiful when women just steps out of the norm. Witness today her relentless pursuit of excellence and be inspired by a story of empowerment. Get ready to celebrate the unwavering greatness and amazing dedication that she has to talk about. This is one episode you don't want to miss, especially for the young females out there that are interested in motorsport. So without further ado, let's welcome Clare Vale, a racing driver for Women in Motorsport, Motorsport South Africa. And as always, this interview is proudly brought to you by MFC and 𝐬𝐤 by Nedbank, as well as 𝐬𝐤 Solutions. Hello, Clare.
Hi, Desh. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being so determined, for being so persuasive and so persistent. I think that's the right word, persistent in what you do and just holding your own and going out there with the courage and the determination that you have, because today you will become the example for many young females. So thank you.
Oh, thanks, Desh. A lot of people might say stubborn instead of determined, but that's fine.
I like stubborn. I like stubborn. I'm stubborn. So I think firstly, you are a semi-finalist in the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, a new category we've opened for motorsport. And I just want to congratulate you, because you are one of the first batch of ladies going forward, and hopefully there are going to be many to come, that's entered into this world of ours. So thank you.
No, thank you. It's awesome that you've actually created a niche for us as well. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
You'll deserve it. I think you'll do much more than we do in terms of the adrenaline in the motoring trade. Okay, so where and how did your journey in racing begin?
Mine's quite unusual, really, because a lot of the female drivers started off very, very young. Mm-hmm. Perhaps they had a family who've been racing for years.
Yes.
And I didn't have that. My family had zero interest in motorsport and cars. Uh-huh. Although I was crazy about cars from when I was very small.
Right.
But I was very lucky when I think I was about 42.
No, but you're younger than that now. So how? Okay. Okay. We'll talk about this afterwards. Okay. Gosh,
so I only started very late. So yes, that was.
So there is no age limit to racing?
Absolutely not.
Okay. There's obviously I need to get into the car.
No age limit to your dreams either. It just proves that it doesn't matter if you really want to do something eventually and you keep trying. The opportunity will come.
Wow, you really are an inspiration. Okay, so it just started at age 42, and you then decided that this is going to be something. Do you do it full time?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I think that would be quite unusual locally, because there's not a lot of sponsorship. It's not like F1 or something like that, where people actually pay you to race. Most of us, if we're lucky, we have some sponsors, but not a full-time thing at all. No, I'm actually in the truck industry. So.
In the truck industry?
Yes.
Wow, we have another woman in motoring here then. So out of all the racetracks you've driven, which is your favorite?
I still love the fast old tracks like Cape Town's Killarney, and I love East London. But these days, one of my favorites is also Red Star Raceway, which is up here in Gauteng. Okay. Well, actually no, it's in Mpumalanga, but it's near Delmas. And I've spent quite a lot of time racing there. It's one of the newer tracks, and I absolutely love Red Star.
What do you do in the truck industry, by the way?
We sell used trucks.
Which brand?
Mostly Mercedes, MAN.
So you're in the game.
Yes,
you're in
totally.
the game. What do you enjoy most about racing?
For me, obviously the adrenaline, but I mean that's not really my main enjoyment. I love the focus. You know, it's quite a high pressure industry that we're in,
right?
And I love the fact that when we get in a race car, when we go racing, it's total focus, and that's actually, you have to pay attention.
Right.
And I really, really enjoy that total focus that I get from racing.
Do you have kids?
I've got a son, yes.
Okay, and how does he feel about this?
No, he loves motorsport as well, he does, fortunately.
So, Claire, how important is it to physically keep fit, you know, and keep your stamina in tip-top shape to race?
It is important, because obviously motorsport racing is a very mental activity as well. And you know, in order to have a fit and active mind, you know, you pretty much have to have a fit and healthy body as well.
Absolutely.
But it is quite physical depending on what you race. And certainly it's important, especially as you do get a bit older, to stay as fit and active as you possibly can.
Absolutely. And what do you do to stay fit?
Not as much as I should.
So those are blessed genes. Okay.
Thank you. No, I run on the weekends when I have time, which I enjoy, and it's also a good de-stressor to go running.
Absolutely.
And then in the week I normally end up doing Pilates, that sort of thing, but late at night.
Right,
when I get home.
I mean, any form of exercise is
Anything
good for you.
is helpful.
Absolutely. I don't like to ask this question, okay, but I think my scripters have, I think they want to hear this more than I do, okay, but I'm going to ask, have you been in a crash?
Yes, quite a few.
And?
It sort of goes with the territory, you know, things go wrong, things break, you make mistakes, other people make mistakes too.
Things break as in body?
No, cars.
Oh, the car, okay. But have you been hurt?
I've had one really big crash when I was racing Westbank V8s. They're really fast cars. And there it was a mechanical failure. The steering arm broke, and it was a very high speed accident. But then again, the cars are very safe. They're much safer than road cars, really.
I mean, I would hope so.
Yes. So I was fortunate. And you know, you have a hands device that protects your neck and so on. So I was fine.
So, Claire, does a person need to have a specific skill set to become a racing car driver? Sorry, this is so out of the norm for me, these questions, and like I've been doing passenger vehicles, motoring industry related topics for the past 3 years, so this is so new to me. I am just being educated along with the viewers as well, so please forgive me. I don't even know if that question is relevant, but well, actually it is. You need to have some character traits in terms of, you know, discipline and dedication and all of that. But what is your advice in terms of young women that want to, you know, explore the sport?
I think the thing, Desh, these days, you know, people think of motorsport as just racing on a track in a car, and there's so many other, or on a bike, obviously, but there's so many other facets to it. You can esports, even simulator, sim racing. These days, that's a huge place where people can get started, because you can learn a lot of skill with modern simulators.
Right.
And I think the biggest hurdle for most people who want to get into motorsport is that they visualize they've got to buy this expensive car.
Right.
You know, unfortunately, it's not like soccer. You can buy a soccer ball and then you can play.
It's an expensive sport.
Well, yes, it is, depending on where you go in the motorsport chain.
Right.
You know, if you want to get started, for example, you can even get started with league indoor karting. You know, that's a really inexpensive way to get a taste of it and to get a feel for if you like it enough that you want to
get
go
a sponsor
further.
and then get bigger vehicles as well, right?
So that's
because I mean, when you're on the track, things break.
They do.
And then you have to, I mean, I'm just thinking about changing my clutch.
Yeah,
I mean, it's expensive.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Right.
So it is an expensive sport, but you can sort of pick your level a little bit as to how much you can afford, while you can still get that adrenaline that you're hunting for.
Okay, and in terms of your personality or character traits, as I was saying, or what type of, not personality, but what type of character traits should you have?
I think, before you go into it, you have to start with a passion. It's something you have to want to do.
Yeah.
Especially as a female, So, first you have to have the passion, and from there you have to have the determination and the desire to stick with it and go forward. Because there aren't that many women. I wish there were more.
There will be.
They're becoming, it's growing. Certainly there are more females involved in motorsport now than when I started. At that time there were very few. So that's exciting to see how it's growing.
Yes.
And now girls are not much more inclined to say, oh well, I can do this, and that's awesome.
I mean, it's like you said, it's a male-dominated sport, and it's just unknown territory that females are afraid maybe to navigate through or to learn about, but hopefully these conversations and exposure will get them involved and I know quite a few. When I started with Simola Hill Climb and the ladies team, I mean, after that we had so many inquiries. So we'll get there. We'll get more females doing this. Not
Absolutely.
me.
Why not?
Because I don't have that. I can't fit in the car right now, okay? I tried. You really have to be quite petite to get into that vehicle. So I couldn't even get in one to take a photo. So I'm really not in the physical shape. I'll get there.
You will.
I'll get there. I shall get there, okay? But any advice for young females that want to join motorsport, the world of motorsport?
I think really if they're keen, they mustn't hesitate. There's always a way, as I say, whether you start at the bottom and you slide in. There's so many car clubs and car crews these days as well. You can take your road car, you can go to Wicked Wednesday at the Rock on a Wednesday night and do drags with your street car. There are a million ways where you can get started, and from there, if you really want to find your way, you will certainly find your way.
Absolutely.
Don't hesitate.
As long as it's legal.
Of course.
As long as you are not going to any illegal drag racing.
No,
please don't support that. I don't support that.
There are plenty of other options.
There are other legal options.
Many.
Yes, and I also do implore or encourage anybody out there that wants to use this platform to promote legal motorsport. Please get in contact with me, because I think it's very important to stay the course.
Absolutely.
Claire, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I wish you all the best. I am following you. I'm your stalker. I know you're doing well. You are looking phenomenal in those pictures. You are just absolutely amazing, and I want you to continue doing what you're doing. You're an inspiration to all of us. Thank you.
No, thanks, Desh. You're an inspiration to all of us too.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I have a little quote here. I want to say, start by doing what is necessary, then what is possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. And that's a quote by Francis of Assisi. That reminds me of Claire, and that is why I read it out. But there's another one. If it scares you, it might be a good thing to try. And that's by Seth Godin. So, ladies, I want to end off by saying accept the power of devotion, because it involves really accepting life as it is rather than just analyzing it. And I think it's so important. Devotion and dedication, discipline, determination, these are all character traits that it's really important to have them if you're trying to become successful in whatever it is that you want to be. You can have a tremendous sense of fulfillment by fully engrossing oneself in every facet of life, accept everything of life's pleasures, difficulties, successes, and lessons with open arms, since it's only by doing so that you will genuinely flourish. Give up the impulse to scrutinize every little detail and allow yourself to be carried along by the beauty of the adventure. A life lived to the fullest, when each moment is treasured and each experience is valued, can only be unlocked by dedication. So I want to leave you with a quote by my guru: devotion is not a discretion of life, but a total embrace. And with that, I would like to remind you that the question should never be who's going to let me. It should always be who's going to stop me.